Okay, I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling good as well. Now, I've spoken about this before. Us as a society, consumers, we're over $1 trillion in debt. The average regular middle class spender, consumer, worker, they're in thousands of dollars in debt, owing student loans, out of control, excessive credit card spending, all of this stuff. Now, keep in mind, I'm not exempting myself from any of these improprieties. I've definitely engaged in a lot of them. Gotten better over the years, and fairly recently gotten much better, but I'm of the belief there's still always room for improvement. Now, with that being said, understanding our predicament and condition, and I'm speaking for just the regular common man or woman who's not rich, and again, the idea of rich is a very relative term. To me, you or somebody making, $30,000, $40,000 a year, $1 million, maybe even $500,000 might be considered rich to them. But to Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, $1 million is $1 million is being broke to them. So, but nonetheless, us folks, the regular, common folks, as an individual who wants to be a functioning, productive person, a part of society, it's almost impossible. Not entirely impossible, but almost impossible to stay away from debt. We all have debt. We all have bills, recurring bills, fixed bills, recurring bills that come every month. And it's not debt, it's utilities, things that you have to pay for. So things that you need to function, car payment, bills, light, mortgage, and well, that's a part of debt. But you understand my concept and my viewpoint. Now, if you get lucky enough to catch up on your bills, because we all know a lot of us are behind. We only make a certain amount a month, and then at the same time, more bills, more financial occurrences, and in some cases, financial catastrophes arise. And when that becomes a part of the equation, that essentially compounds our debt. And debt is always incurring interest. It's just a vicious cycle. But nonetheless, if you are lucky enough and you strive hard enough to get yourself in a position where you're caught up on all your bills and you're caught up on your debts, and you've even got to the point where you're out of debt, it's not enough just to say, hey man, I'm caught up. It's actually imperative for you to say, hey, I need to get caught up even more. And what I mean by that is, if you're a month ahead of bills, granted, everybody's situation is different. People have kids, people have expenses that you have to account for. But if you are a month ahead of bills, you need to be working to get 2, 3, maybe even 4 months ahead. And maybe even, a quarter of the year ahead of yourself. Because what I'm starting to notice in any situation, in a lot of situations, especially, I've spoken about this before, as we get older, our ability to earn income, it diminishes. You start off as a very young person, you don't have a job, but as you get older in your teens, 20s, 30s, you're earning income, and your ability to earn income, depending on what you do for a living, it increases. But at some point, your earned income ability, you want it to transition to unearned income is the majority of your income. But even if you can't, your earning income ability is finite. It's always going to come to an end. So you need to be preparing for that. And with the debt situation that I've spoken about earlier, and it's it's extremely important with that situation. You're always going to be fighting against the odds. You're never going to be able to get ahead, especially if you think, oh, I'm caught up, because something is always going to happen. It's inevitable. And even if it doesn't happen, you should prepare as if something is going to happen. So once you survive, you have to begin to thinking about thriving. So you have to keep the mentality or the work ethic of, man, I'm a couple ahead, like what I'm doing right now. I'm a couple months ahead of certain bills, and my debt is at an all-time low. I really have an opportunity to increase my ability to earn income, because all of my money is not going to the lender. It's a very cliche term. The borrower is slave to the lender. And as long as you're continuously lending money out to folks, you're never going to have full freedom, financial freedom. You're never going to have control. And it's a very terrible feeling. And how do you expect to bring other children in the world, offspring, in a lively situation when you can't even control your own situation? I'm not trying to say that to be condescending or patronizing. I'm trying to say that is because I also understand the importance of that. And it's very important to me, and I felt like I should share it with you. So with that being said, and we understand that being above water ain't enough. We have to not only be above water, we have to be skiing, waterboarding, or excuse me, wakeboarding. We have to be parasailing, if you get my drift. Like, being above water is an understatement. It's not the goal. That's one of the means to the goal. There's different degrees. So I felt like that was very important to share with you. And as always, stay tuned. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the opportunity for you to allow me to speak to you, giving me that opportunity. And as always, Ben Phrases. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.